Good evening. M.M Out There here again. Now, due to numerous requests, we've decided to do a program in this format, whereas that we're looking at memorable speeches made in the House of Assembly. And this is the first of many. So, we're going to feature Mr. Dennis St. Elmo Kellman, the Member of Parliament for St. Lucie. This contribution was made on March the 17th, 2003 on the Appropriation Bill. It was a historic and iconic speech because it was the last time that two stalwarts from the House of Assembly were going to be participating in the debate. Sir Harold St. John and Sir Henry Ford. Here we go. Mr. Speaker, I rise to speak after two distinguished honourable members who have both said farewell to this Parliament. I want to say that we all have something in common, and that is, we would have all started our political lives around the year of 1971. Fortunately for me, I started at the age of 13, and they would have started at a much older age. This means that by now, I would have had a good opportunity to mature and also to learn at the feet of some of these honourable men. I want to make it known that instead of taking the advice of the honourable members, now they are going, it is for me to take up the mantle and run with it because of the good people of St. Lucie. Sir, experience in politics is something that you cannot buy in a shop or you cannot get on the hill. It is something that you grow with and you develop over the years. I have had the opportunity to learn at the feet of many great men, and I think it is only fair for me to show that I have learned my lessons and have matured. I will be speaking today, sir, on the Appropriation Bill at a time when the economy of Barbados is very much challenged. One must recognize, sir, that I have sent out many warnings from this side, and I was happy to have heard the Honourable Member for St. Michael North East speak. She made the comment that a lot has been given to the private sector, and that the private sector, after receiving a lot, have not treated the workers the way they should have done. I must admit, sir, that in 1994, when the Barbados Labour Party said that this economy would have been private sector led, the Democratic Labour Party had all intentions of putting a VAT system in place, but we lost the government before we got the opportunity to put the VAT system in place. I want to say, sir, it is with some regret that it was not put in place, because we could have put that in place and could have easily removed the income tax. If we had done that, there would have been no doubt that the Democratic Labour Party would have been re-elected to government. I want to give you the reason why I say this. Sir, if you look at page 1 of your estimates, which deals with revenue, you will see that in the year 1994 to 1995, taxes on incomes and profits were 324 million. In 1995, it went to 364 million. In 1996 to 1997, 385 million. In 1997 to 1998, it went to 419 million. And from 1998 to 1999, it went to 459 million. In 1999 to 2000, it went to 512 million or 513 million. In 2000 to 2001, it went to 591 million. In 2001 to 2002, it dropped to 571 million, and this was about around the time of the mergers. This is a very significant point. And in 2002 to 2003, it dropped again to 558 million. Sir, these are taxes on incomes and profits, which will include income tax and corporation tax, which means that income tax was part of the corporation tax. Sir, when the value-added tax, VAT, system was introduced in this Parliament, I made the bold prediction that it should not only be calculated on the amount of the VAT collected, but that it had to be calculated on the indirect effect of what it would have had on profits of corporations. I realized that when the taxes were removed from the port, etc., that there would have been companies that would have been able to hold on to a larger portion of the taxes that were given up by government, and one would have seen a difference in the balance sheets of those companies. Companies are making the point that they are now making more money than they have made before, but when you look at their turnover, instead of seeing a significant change, you are seeing a large increase in the profits made by the company. This means that the money that should have been passed down to the retailers and the consumers is being held by the large importers in Barbados. No one can dispute the fact that the successful businesses in Barbados are the businesses that are into importing, and that the businesses that are suffering are the businesses that are into retailing, which have to rely on the importers. This is a fact and nobody can challenge that. Those who have made the point that during the Democratic Labour Party time, there was something called price control, which caused 400 businesses to be closed. Even if that might be true, we recognize now that we are seeing something occurring in Barbados which is more damaging. We do not have price control, which is instituted by the government of Barbados, but we have a combination of government and private sector control that is now starving the retail sector in Barbados. Let me explain what I'm referring to. An importer in this country can import any item he wants, and he can decide the markup that he wants. If he wants a 500% markup, he can get a 500% markup. But when the retailer is given something called a suggested retail price, which means that this is the market retail price now, because even though it's not written into the law, that is the price that is in the mind of the consumer, who will expect to pay that particular price for the item. So the distributor is now dictating to the retailer the price that he or she should be selling the item, not at the cognizance of the various expenses that the retailers have. Therefore, we are now seeing a situation in Barbados where the retailers are now being wiped out because the distributors are taking a large share of the taxes that should have been given to the retailers so that the retailers and the consumers could have a better break. Sir, I need to produce statistics to prove this particular point. In the appendices on A12, you will see something called taxes on goods and services. I will use the years 1993 to 1994 as my base year. Taxes on goods and services collected were 1993 to 1994, 378.6 million. 1994 to 1995, 406.7 million. 1995 to 1996, 450.5 million. 1996 to 1997, 488.5 million. 1997 to 1998, 723 million. 1998 to 1999, 748.1 million. 1999 to 2000, 727.8 million. It dropped. And in 2000 to 2001, 750 million. It leveled off the next 2 years at 749 million and 747 million, correction, and 749 million. Sir, even though these duties and levies would have been included in that figure previously, instead of seeing a leveling off of taxes, you saw a significant increase in taxes in the year 1997 to 1998. Using the years 1993 to 1994 as a base, it meant that in 1994-1995, the taxes increased by 7.41%. In 1995 to 1996 by 18.99%. 1996 to 1997 by 29%, and in 1997 and 1998 by 90.95%. When VAT was introduced, there was a 90% increase in taxes, but income tax could not have been 90% on the taxes of income and profit in that figure above. This also means that if we had introduced VAT and abolished income tax, we would have increased the disposable income of the workers, and they would have been free to dispose of that income the way they like. And if they wanted to go and buy fish, yams, or potatoes, they were free to go and live off the produce of the land, and they could have turned rastas if they wanted to. Sir, this tells me that the Barbados Labour Party was fortunate in getting a 90% increase in taxes without having to give up those taxes to the consumers of Barbados. What is also significant is that by 2000 to 2001, the private sector of Barbados would have been able to increase their profits by over 105%, and the government would have been able to increase its tax take by 98%. You would have heard me, sir, in this parliament, talking about a three-sided triangle, and a triangle can only have three sides. But sometimes you have to make statements like these in parliament. Honorable Sir Henry Ford. On a point of order, Mr. Speaker, I hate to attempt to interrupt, the honorable member, but he fails to take into account two matters, and he is not fairly representing the position. He has to discount the fact that 13 taxes were abolished and he has to make a discount for the fact that there was a tremendous increase in economic activity, which would also bring with it an increase in the level of taxes. Mr. Kellman, under normal circumstances in 1994, the 378,629,330 would have included those taxes and duties of which the honourable member is speaking. These taxes were replaced, and by 1997 to 1998, they then moved to 722,980,494. The honourable member is asking me to make this significant